Hey guys, it's November the 3rd, 2024, and I hope everybody's been having a great weekend so far. I just want to start off today's video and just say that I'm sorry I've not gotten to y'all's comments in the past couple videos. Have not been feeling well, and I've been doing a lot of sleeping, and then today was my wife's birthday, so I've been spending time with her and my family all day today. Hence the fact that I'm getting today's video done so late. I was really hoping to try to get it done earlier today, but like I said, we've been spending time together as a family. So I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow morning, first thing, and after I get done with my doctor's appointment, I plan on spending tomorrow majority of the day getting back with everybody. I have let things pile up, and like I said, I've just not felt great. I've been doing a lot of sleeping, and I've just been so fatigued lately. Ever since I got back from the hospital, I've been like very, very, very tired. You know, I got sick, and then it just kicked my butt. But it started getting me thinking today. We had to go do some things earlier, and when we were on the way back, I was telling my wife, I was like, I am just so tired. And it got me to thinking about, you know, things that come along with liver disease. And I wanted to just do a quick short little video today and just talk about a couple of those things. You know, some of the signs and symptoms of liver disease, and you know, things to look out for. And you know, one of the first things I wanted to talk about is, you know, are you feeling, you know, overly tired? You know, have you been feeling just like more fatigued than normal usually? And this is not like a scare video or anything like that, more just an awareness video and educational. But you know, I'm just kind of directing it towards whoever's watching. And the reason I'm asking this, you know, is like, are you yourself, are you feeling more fatigued than normal? You know, this is one of the first signs of coming down with liver problems, is the extreme fatigue. And when I mean fatigue, I mean like you just can't keep your eyes open. You know, all you want to do is lay down. You know, just getting up just to go to the refrigerator or go to the bathroom feels, you know, it feels like it takes a heck of a lot more than it usually would. You know, something as simple as just going to the bathroom, you know, you're out of breath when you got to do it. And that's what it feels like. Or you have to climb a small set of stairs to get into your house, and you're noticing that when you have to walk up that little flight of stairs, that is, you know, it's making you be out of breath. You know, that's one of the first things I started to notice before I got really sick, was that, you know, I was getting really tired with very simple tasks, and you know, I blamed it all on that I was doing too much. The fact that I smoked and all that kind of stuff, and I kept telling myself, you know, I'm gonna quit drinking, I'm gonna quit smoking, and I'll feel better. But it was kind of too late at that point. Another thing too, are you feeling nauseous all the time and lack of appetite? You know, this is something that I suffer from on a daily basis. You know, I've been nauseous all day today, and it's been something I've been dealing with now for like the past 3 weeks. I've been nauseous nonstop. It will just not go away. Doesn't matter what I do. I take my nausea medication, and it just doesn't work. But are you feeling, you know, more nauseous than normal? Even on days when you didn't drink really heavy the night before, you have this just like overwhelming feeling of nausea, and lack of appetite. You know, you would normally, you know, maybe get up and have breakfast in the morning, and now you don't feel like eating anything. Or maybe you don't feel like eating lunch, or you don't feel like eating dinner. You have no interest in food at all. You know, these are things that I have been dealing with for quite some time. I have no appetite, hardly ever. And when I do, I eat, you know, because it's few far in between when I actually really do want to eat. Most of the time I have to make myself eat, because, I mean, at the end of the day, we have to eat food. Another thing too, are you starting to notice that you're starting to get spider veins on your face or on your nose? That's where they tend to accumulate at, is right around our face, or right on these areas. And that's one of the, I've spoken about this many times on here. Before I had gotten sick, my brother is a nurse, and he works in surgery at the VA hospital. And we went over to his house one day. We went over to go swimming over there at his next door neighbor's house, and my brother looked at me and said, "Do you realize that you have spider veins on your face?" And I said, yeah, I know. And I tried to blame it on something else. I can't remember the name of the skin condition that I tried to, rosacea. I tried to say, that's just rosacea, that's what it is. And my brother was like, no. That comes along with, excessive drinking. A lot of people with AUD have those marks on their face. And, I tried to put it off and pretend like it was something else. And no, I still have them on my face. And as a matter of fact, they're all over my nose. And you really can't see them, unless I get really close to the camera. And you probably would have to see me in real life to really get a look at them. But they're right here on my nose, and they go along right here. And anytime that, I get really hot, or if I get like embarrassed or angry or something like that, and my face starts to get red, it blotches up, and you can really, really see it when that happens. Another one too, are you starting to notice that you're starting to get a beer belly? And is it something that's kind of come along, here recently? Have you been the type of person that you had a kind of a flat stomach, most of your life, and now all of a sudden you're starting to get a beer belly, and, the rest of your body is skinny? You got skinny arms, skinny legs, a rather thin chest, but you've got this protruding stomach. That could be ascites, and, that's another thing to look for. Now, belly fat and ascites are two different things, and but still, if you're starting to collect a lot of belly fat, that when we drink in excess, it can accumulate in our stomach. But ascites is something different. Ascites is when you start to collect fluid in your abdomen, and it gets around your organs. What's happening is your liver can't filter the blood properly, and the fluid starts to seep into your stomach cavity. And it's one of those things, that you kind of need to have a doctor check you out, and they'll go around and kind of tap on your stomach to listen and see what it is. But if you can grab, if it's something you just kind of fat on your stomach, it's going to be on the outside of your abdomen. It's more or less like if you lay down in the bed, and then kind of kind of jiggle your stomach around. If you notice there's fluid behind your abdomen wall, and that fat is a different thing. Let's say that you have no fat on your stomach, but there's if you lay down and it's moving around and jiggling around in there, there's something behind your abdomen wall, and it feels like fluid, that could potentially be ascites. And when it gets to that point, it's pretty important. You really need to go see a doctor. Any of these things, I would definitely go see a doctor if you're having any of these signs or symptoms. But the ascites, if you're starting to collect fluid in your belly, that really does indicate that there's probably some liver damage going on, and you really need to speak with the doctor about that, because there are things that they can do. One of the things about ascites is that fluid can get infected, and it can make you go septic. I've had that happen to me before. I was in the hospital in Columbia, South Carolina, and I started getting ascites very, very bad, and ended up getting septic, and I got extremely sick from it. You do not want to end up with an infection in that fluid in your stomach. You just do not. There's things, paracentesis, they can go in there and they can drain that out. But there's also things that they can do, put you on a specific diet, very low sodium. There's just a lot of things you can do, not drink more than 2 liters of fluid a day, stick to 1,000 milligrams lesser sodium, don't drink sports drinks, stay away from soda and stuff like that. You know, it's just things you can do, and, you know, sticking to a really healthy diet, you know, eating high protein meals with vegetables, trying to keep your carbohydrates as low as possible, not eating a lot of sugar. You know, eating a lot of sugar and stuff like that's not good for you either way. It doesn't matter if you have any kind of liver problems or not. It's just not good for you to eat a lot of sugar. You know, sugar is horrible for your liver. You know, it's like alcohol. It really puts a lot of stress on our livers when we consume a lot of sugar. And another thing as well is, are you starting to notice that you're starting to get fluid around your ankles, around the bottom of your legs? Are you starting to get edema? You know, that's another sign of liver problems. And if you're starting to notice, you know, that there's fluid collecting around your ankles are starting to look bigger than normal. Another thing you can do too is, if you're starting to notice that it's starting to, your legs are starting to swell, if you take your finger and push in on it, when you push in on that and it leaves an indent in there, you need to go speak with a doctor. One of the things that I noticed, and this is before I knew that I had any kind of serious problems, is I was on a job one day, and I've spoken about this as well, but I tend to keep my socks pulled up rather high. I don't like my socks to sit loose on my legs, so I'll pull them up, and I wear, like, when I'm wearing tennis shoes, I'll wear, like, you know, the little ankle socks, but when I'm, like, working or anything like that, and I'm wearing, like, work boots or something, I wear, like, the long socks, and you know, like the knee-high socks, and I'll pull them all the way up to my knees. Now, I've got pants on over the top of them. I'm not walking around with my socks like that, but I keep my socks pulled up. And I was on a job one day, and I'd had my socks pulled up, and I just pulled my pants legs up so I could pull my socks up, and when I did, I just happened to look at my legs, and where the sock had been pulled up prior, there was a ring around my leg, and I could see the indentation from where the sock had been sitting on my leg, and there was a huge, like, ring around my leg with a big indentation, and I could tell that my legs were extremely swollen from the knee down. I had all kinds of fluid in my legs, and you know, it's one of those things. I just didn't know what was going on, and you know, I finally did you know, find out later that that was the problem. That was what was going on with me. It was because, you know, I was having liver problems. But you know, these are some things. And another thing as well is, are you experiencing diarrhea on a regular basis? You know, are you waking up every day with diarrhea? You know, even on days where you're not drinking? You know, is it basically at this point now where you're not even having a solid number 2 anymore, and it's just diarrhea all the time? That's another sign of having liver problems. You know, these are all things, you know, if you're experiencing these things, please go speak with a doctor. Are you starting to experience nosebleeds on a normal basis? You know, is your nose bleeding more than normal? Have you thrown up and thrown up? If you have thrown up and you've thrown up blood, you need to go see a doctor immediately. That could really mean that you have varices going on. And it means that the varices could have burst. Now, it could be that you have an ulcer or something like that as well, which is another thing you need to go see a doctor about. You don't want to leave an ulcer untreated. But if you have thrown up and there's blood in your throw up, either red blood or black, if you're throwing up stuff and it looks like black coffee grinds, please go speak with a doctor. You don't want to leave that untreated. You need to go see a doctor, and they probably need to do an endoscopy and go in there and take a look. There are things that they can do for those varices. They can put bands on them and stop the bleeding. You just don't want to leave a bleed like that unattended. You know, you probably need to have your hemoglobin looked at. Make sure that, you know, that your hemoglobin levels are not extremely low. You know, if you've been throwing up blood and you've noticed that your skin's looking extremely pale, you know, and you feel really, really weak, that means that your hemoglobin is probably really low, and you need to go see a doctor. Another thing as well, have you noticed that the whites of your eyes are starting to turn yellow? Do they have a yellow tint to it? You know, and that's one of those things too, is I used to look for that every single morning when I would wake up. I would pull my eyes down and look at the whites of my eyes to see if there was any yellowing in them. And that was always the, you know, the idea that I would tell myself was, you know, if I looked at the whites of my eyes and there was no yellow in them, then I was A-okay and good to drink for another day because I didn't have any liver problems. Man, was I wrong. And that is not a good way to decipher if you're having any kind of liver issues. It's just by looking at the whites of your eyes. I didn't end up getting jaundice until way later after the fact. You know, it was probably, you know, about 4 months after I'd gotten sick the initial time before I actually really started getting jaundice. And at that point, my eyes started to turn yellow, and then my skin started to turn yellow. And then everything started to fall apart after that. That's when I was like super duper duper sick. And, you know, I was just sick. I mean, so sick. I was using the bathroom all over myself. I couldn't stop it anymore. I was bleeding internally. I had ascites in my belly. I mean, it just got completely out of control. But that's because I didn't do anything about it. I was afraid to go to the doctor, and I completely get it. It's not something that anybody wants to do. But I can tell you this much. You're going to save yourself so much headache in the long run if you just go ahead and go seek medical attention now. Just get yourself checked out. If you've been drinking for a long period of time and you're having any of these signs or symptoms, please go speak with a doctor and let them do a simple blood test. I just went to the doctor the other day. You know, I had to go up there because I was sick. And, you know, I needed to, you know, find out what was going on with me. I didn't know what was wrong and found out that I had a chest infection. And she put me on a Z-Pack, and, you know, I've been getting better. I still don't feel 100% yet, and that's what I was saying. Like, I'm really, really tired from this sickness that I got. But when I was there, I needed to have a follow-up. Tired. If you're feeling very nauseous all the time, if you have lost your appetite, if you're starting to lose weight, and you don't know why you're losing weight, you haven't changed your diet at all, you know, you're just starting to lose weight out of nowhere. You know, these are all things that could be indicative. If you're starting to get fluid in your stomach, if you're starting to get edema in your legs, if you're starting to notice that you're getting spider veins on your face, if you're starting to notice that the whites of your eyes are starting to turn yellow and your skin is turning yellow, you're starting to bruise very easily. Are you starting to notice that you're getting bruises on your body and you don't know where they came from? You know, when you take your shirt off, you notice that you got bruises on your stomach or on your arms or on your legs, and you're like, I haven't bumped into anything. That bruising can be a sign of liver problems as well. And there's a couple more things that you could look for as well, but these are really like the big ones. So, you know, once again, if you're experiencing any of these signs, symptoms, please go speak with a doctor and get yourself checked out. You know, they might tell you you have to stop drinking, and, you know, you might save yourself. You might find out that you have fatty liver. And, yeah, nobody wants to find out they have fatty liver, but if that's the case, the one thing about fatty liver is that it can be reversed. And with diet, exercise, and, you know, with guidance from your doctor, you can reverse fatty liver. I mean, the thing is that I don't remember what the numbers are, the statistics in America, but I think it's something like 40% of all Americans walking around right now have fatty liver disease. It's something astronomical like that. It's a very big number. And the thing is with fatty liver is that, and liver disease, is not necessarily caused by just drinking. It could be hereditary. It could also come from autoimmune diseases. It can come from eating too much sugar. Just poor diet, seed oils, and those types of things cause liver disease as well. You know, there's other things too, like, you know, sharing needles with people, you know, hepatitis, you know, getting the viral hepatitis can cause liver disease. So once again, you don't have to necessarily be a lifelong drinker to get liver disease. You know, anybody should be on the lookout for it. And once again, if you're experiencing any of these things that I talked about today, please go speak with a doctor. Get yourself checked out. And, you know, it might be one of those things where you have to change your diet. You might have to stop drinking. You might have to do some things. Maybe they put you on some kind of medication. But, you know, you're not going to be sitting on a liver transplant list in 2 years. Or, I mean, there are so many reasons why to go ahead and get checked out now and avoid all of the problems that come along with this. Because trust me when I tell you, you don't want to have to deal with it. And it's the reason that I'm on here talking about this every single day. Because I really do want to help people avoid having to go through what I've been through. And I know there's a lot of people out there that watch this channel that have families, they have children. I don't want to have to see anybody have to go through this and their children have to deal with the same things as well. You know, I can't tell you how the look of fear on my children's eyes when they know that their dad's got to go to the hospital, and the way they sound when I'm talking to them on the phone or when they come see me in the hospital. I hate putting them through this. You know, they should be worrying about, you know, talking to girls at school, or, you know, what's the next Star Wars toy that's about to come out, or worrying about putting their Legos together, you know, or, you know, what's the new cartoon that just came out or whatever, and not be worrying about their dad having to go back to the hospital again because I chose to drink in excess and didn't want to stop. You know, I've put my family through a lot, and you know, they've seen a lot, they've been through a lot, and I've stressed my family out more than I ever really wanted to ever. You know, it's just I shouldn't have put them through what I have. And you know, I chose not to go to a doctor. I chose to ignore all the signs and symptoms that I've talked about today until it was too late, until I didn't have an option, and until I had to go to the hospital. I mean, it got to the point to where I couldn't even walk. I was so weak, and you know, I had to be carried basically out to the car and then wheelchaired into the hospital, and then found out I had all these problems because I wanted to avoid it. I thought that, you know, if I turn my head and look the other way, that they'll just go away. They don't. Those problems stay. And please, just heed my warning. And if you feel like any of this stuff's going on with you, just please go speak with a doctor and just get checked out. I know it's scary, but it will be the best decision that you've ever made. And I think that's it for today, guys. I'm going to go ahead and hop off of here. Like I said, I'm really sorry that I haven't gotten your comments. It's just been, I just have not felt well. And I've been doing a lot of sleeping. And like I said, it was my wife's birthday today, so I've been spending the time with her all day today and my kids. But tomorrow, after I get done at my doctor's appointment in the morning, I'm going to hop on and get back with all of you guys and take care of all of that. So just hang tight. I'll be back communicating with you guys tomorrow. And thank you so much for watching today's video. I really do appreciate it. Until tomorrow, I will see y'all then. Y'all have a great rest of your night. Love y'all so much.